Hey everybody, this is Chandler Quintin here with your Trade of the Day video. Today is July 28th, and I know I have not posted a video in a long time. I actually haven't been trading as much. I've been working on building out a new strategy that's a little bit more, has a better success rate than some of my other ones. And I also have been super busy growing the company that I started last year. So, anyways, this is the new strategy we're going to be trading on, and it is revolving around RSI2, open high, low close 4, and this is sort of like the Connors type RSI trading program, but we don't really keep as many rules as Connors does, and we kind of just go for it. I mean, obviously, Connors uses a lot of criteria and rules, below certain, trading averages or moving averages and things like that. We're not going to do that. That's complicating the waters. Let's just use one factor and go for it. That way our trading is simple, fast, and efficient, and it's really easy to tell if you should stay in a trade or get out of a trade. And you don't want to muddy the waters with too many criteria to look at, or else you're just going to go crazy trying to chase a trade. So I want to bring up two screens because this trade can be done in a daily chart fashion and also an hourly chart fashion. So for the daily chart, we're going to start with buying just calls only. We are not going to try to figure out calling the top yet in the strategy. It's too early to tell, if this is worth applying to a short and the kind of the reverse of this. So let's just start with calls only, because when these criteria are met that I'm going to talk about, you have a very good chance of making money the next day or in subsequent hours if you're doing it hourly rather than intraday. So on the daily chart, you can buy intraday when RSI2 is less than 5, and you can buy when RSI2 is less than 5 at the end of the day if you're going to take it overnight. Now again, we're talking about open high, low close 4, which is a setting in the RSI parameters that you can set. I would recommend having a trading platform that can do this, or else our platform for trading is going to kind of be a little off. The next thing I want to show you guys is what we do with the hourly chart. So again, we're going to start with just calls only, and we're going to buy when RSI2 is less than 5 and when RSI2 is also less than 5. And we're talking about the open high, low close 4 and the close. And the new trading platform I use for charts actually allows you to stack these charts on top of each other so you can see when this event happens. I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. Now, I would prefer on the intraday hourly chart trading to wait until the closing bar meets both criteria. So at the end of your hourly bar, I would say make your move there. The only reason why I say that is because we know for sure that those two parameters are going to stay at that number, and you're not going to kind of get messed up with one number being at around 5, the other one jumping around a little bit. You really want both these numbers to be less than 5. And also consider, if RSI2, open, high, low, close 4, or the close are below 5 but more than 1 unit away from each other, wait until they are closer in value, please. Sometimes you'll see RSI open, high, low, close 4 be around 4.5, and you'll see the close be less than 1. That's too much of a variance. I mean, you might as well have one at 5 and one at 10, and that wouldn't fit our criteria. So why would you go both below 5 and one being super low? That sets up a scenario, and I'll show you a couple times it's happened where the trade doesn't work out. So let's go to the charts. So I'll show you the daily chart first, and this is tradingview.com, my new favorite trading platform. It is phenomenal, and I think that it works really well. The real-time charts are great. It's very flexible. I can do all sorts of things like scale in and out and do all sorts of crazy stuff. I can, just type in a symbol and change it to Apple right in my screen. I can do all sorts of cool stuff. There are tons of indicators up here that you can use, and you can write your own scripts and all sorts of cool stuff. But the basics, we have our daily chart here on the left. We have an hourly chart here, and the hourly chart here have the same symbol. All these charts are linked. This one shows me RSI2 for close, and this one shows me RSI2 for open, high, low, close 4, and this is the daily with open, high, low, close 4 as well. So that said, let's take an example of the daily chart. So as I mentioned, on the daily chart, you're going to buy when RSI open, high, low, close 4 is below 5. So this looks like it was March 13th, and this is just a really textbook example where you have RSI open high low close 4 at 5.64 on March 13th, and then the next day we drop to around 1. So one of my suggestions is to wait till the closing bar of the day, and if you did, you would do really well here because it didn't go up much from the low. But what you're seeing is the next day you're getting a nice $1.70 move, and it could turn into a 2-day or 3-day trade. And in this case, it was a 2-day trade at 303. Now, I'd recommend selling half or 75% of your position, the next day, and then maybe holding a little bit for lottery the day after that. And there's some things I'm looking at to determine when to sell. I haven't quite figured it out yet, so I figured I don't want to tell you. But it's very straightforward. And if we follow the chart and we look to other periods where RSI2 for the open high low close 4 on the daily went below 5, you see that if you bought on the low position or even the close position of that day, you have good opportunity for a 1, 2, 3, 4-day trade right after that. And we all know that RSI2 is very strong with big bounces back. I'm sure on this day, on the 8th of April, it went below 5. It closed at 5.57, had a larger downside there. And from the low to the high the next day, it's 1.9%. If you follow the chart along, you'll see a couple more moments where it got close to our indicator of 5, but it doesn't happen often. But the good thing is that you could use all sorts of different symbols to find out when that may have happened. So here's Apple. Looks like we had that happen over here a couple times, and even with another subsequent down day, if you bought on the low of this day when it went below 5, and you held to the high of the previous day, that's still a 1.21% gain on the stock, even though it eventually ended up down the next day. And when your funds clear, guess what? On this third day here, you're still way below 5. You're at 0.79, and on the low of that day, you would have had a nice 3-day trade to follow that, with a 4.5% gain on the stock, dollar-wise 4.07. In options world, that's tons of money. So that's the gist of the daily, and I want to switch focus here to the hourly, so I'm going to pop it back to the spiders, and I'm going to show you what happened today. So on the opening bar, we had RSI close of it was 7.12, and an open high low close was down at 2.23. Now during this bar, RSI2 close was way down below 5. It was around right here, like a little bit under 5, and so was the open high low close 4. So I bought in pretty much right at the bottom, and I held until later on in the day with this bump. But I knew that as the bar changed from hour bar 1 to hour bar 2, RSI open high low close 4 was still low. It was 1.4, and this one was climbing. So I realized that we were going to get some sort of boost because there was the variance in the stock. And sometimes you'll see it the opposite way, where perhaps this area right here is the bar beforehand, and you'll be pretty much seeing a further downside pattern. So what you're going to want to do is look out for these scenarios where you have the RSI2 open high low close and RSI to close kind of match up. Now this is Friday, and I'll show you. We have RSI2 close at 6.33, as you can see right there at the top of my screen, and we have here at 1.48. Yeah, those are pretty close to 5, but there's a huge variance in these two. So guess what? If we waited till the close of that bar, we would have decided not to trade and would have waited to the next bar. And this bar shot right down. And at the end of this bar, we had a 2.1 on the close and a 0.85 on the RSI open high low close 4. So that's where we probably would have made our trade, because at the low of this, this would have been a little bit closer to 0.85. Hopefully it would have been within 1. And from there, we would have bought at the low and carried it over to the next bar, or even the bar after that, for a 57-cent gain on the spider. And in options world, that's good money right there. So I don't want anyone to get confused about the strategy. We're still working on it, and we're still tailoring it, but I think we're onto something with the RSI2 of the open high low close 4 and the RSI2 of the close kind of matching up in some way, shape, or form. So I would say that it's something that we're going to keep our eyes out for, and we're going to look for overnight setups as well as intraday setups. So things that might be coming up, the spiders look like the RSI open high low close 4 is coming very close to where we need it to be. It's at 19 now, so maybe a couple days from now we'll get a nice drop down. I know that Tesla is very close as well. Oh, sorry, not Tesla. Netflix is very close as well. We are at 6.83. So if we get a day tomorrow where this drops down below 5, I might take some overnight and see what happens. But this has been the trade of the day. My name is Chandler Quintin. Hope you guys enjoyed.